least we can rejoice from the same development from what we've done.
President kwa Bulozi mwatanga kwa 10 nasepa mwaziwadi mane kwa mamu kamba bakamitolokera ni muberekire mafulu education abona alire machembele bahola makwasha bahola kono kwa Western Province hakuna zwero pili haiyo lwazama yanga lwabona zenzi mwali bakazemwi kuna nilizwero pili lwabona mafole ni mwali bakazemwi lwazama yanga zwero pili lwaibona kwanu kwa Western Province hakuna zwero pili chebo president falo mikutseleze pateni chole lubata kuli chole ni mina chole mubonise witumelo sina molwezeze kwanu kwa Western Province 47,000 kiale tusuposa kuli bwakainde lwa milata chole bwakainde ni mina mubonise latola mina utoka zwero pili tahe ingeyenzi kwa bamu mayuti kwa kwa Western Province hakuna misebezi chole mubone kuli muberekele pateni mikwakwa kima grave ofera kima grave ukafa kuluka kima grave limota za unasori za sinyea chalo kukupa kule bwakainde muberekele pateni
akakwa kuona wa president ke mkutela fa mwa 5 years mu kupula luli kupule bana bamina oli bamipotezi kana babaitutile kuna babasikaituta.
As government continues implementing its development programs, residents say they will be looking forward to seeing more projects taking shape on the ground. Reporting for Bulozi TV, Mary Madisana, MONGU, Western Province.
The National Reconciliation Party for Unity and Prosperity has accepted the election results announced by the Electoral Commission of Zambia, congratulating President HAKAINDE and the United Party for National Development on their victory. Tembo said the NRPUP also congratulated its presidential candidate and running mate for what he described as a spirited campaign, particularly considering that the party was less than 3 months old when it entered the elections.
We commend and congratulate our president, our presidential candidate, Honorable Brian Mundubile, and his running mate, Honorable Makebi Zuru, for a spirited campaign. As a party that is less than 3 months old, we are proud. From zero, we are now the main opposition political party with over 60 members of parliament, several mayors, council chairpersons, and councillors across the country. This is no small achievement. We also congratulate President HICHILEMA and the UPND on their victory. We congratulate the over 60 NRPUP MPs, council chairpersons, mayors, and councillors across the country. The way forward. The election is over. It is time for Zambia to focus on development. We call on all Zambians to give President HICHILEMA and the UPND space to work, and as we offer checks and balances, we let norms prevail and let's engage in Parliament and other establishment democratic platforms. As the official opposition, NRPUP will provide checks and balances to ensure accountability and good governance. In conclusion, we urge all our members nationwide to desist from any form of political violence. Democracy is about respecting the will of the people.
MONGU District Electoral Officer Oswell Mpofu has commended MONGU residents for conducting themselves in a peaceful and orderly manner during the election period, saying the process ran smooth without reports of violence. In an exclusive interview with Bulozi TV News, Pofu has also thanked the media and the Zambia Police Service for the professionalism they have shown during the electoral process, saying that they have massively contributed to the smooth running of the process. Meanwhile, he further praised the voter turnout in the district, commending the residents for turning up in numbers to exercise their right to participate in the electoral process by casting their votes.
So I wish to state here that I think the process was very smooth, and the declaration for the mayor of MONGU was done, I think, the other day in the night. So all in all, I think the process went on very well, very smoothly, very peacefully. I want to thank the people of MONGU for, conducting themselves in this manner. Well, the turnout for MONGU was very interesting, very exciting. The turnout was very good. I want to state here that our working relationship between the media, the security wings, has been very good. I think we really worked very well. And this is how it's supposed to be. I also want to take this opportunity to sincerely thank them for this working spirit.
Western Province Permanent Secretary Simomo Akapelwa has thanked the people of Western Province for the peaceful conduct during and after the elections and for turning out in large numbers. Speaking during a tree planting ceremony in honor of President HAKAINDE HICHILEMA's re-election, Akapelwa said the province should refocus on reforestation and target planting seedlings. Meanwhile, Green champion Masiye Mulela commended the president for creating the Ministry of Green Economy and Environment, for it shows government's commitment to environmental protection.
The peaceful conduct witnessed in Western Province during and after the general election has been welcomed as a reflection of the province's commitment to maintaining peace and stability. Provincial Permanent Secretary Simomo Akapelwa has thanked residents for maintaining peace throughout the electoral period, while also commending them for turning out in large numbers to exercise their right to vote.
I say thank you very much for your efforts during the last 90 days of election campaigns, for the peace you maintained over the period and which we continue to enjoy now. Thank you very much for your efforts, and thank you very much for your turning out in very large numbers to vote.
Akapelwa was speaking during a tree planting ceremony held in honor of President HAKAINDE HICHILEMA following his re-election. He says the province must now shift its attention towards restoring forests and increasing the number of trees planted across the region.
Now, today's event, Mr. Mulele and myself have an outstanding engagement to go to Luvuva, to a patch of forest, a piece of forest they have given him to try to reforest. We shouldn't forget the event, the declaration of yesterday that President HAKAINDE has been re-elected, and then he has the chance to continue with the progressive and developmental ideas he has. So we must have a signpost or a mark. So let's plant the HAKAINDE HICHILEMA orange. Let's continue with that spirit of planting indigenous trees. They can grow.
A farmer and green champion, Masiye Mulela, has praised President HAKAINDE HICHILEMA for establishing the Ministry of Green Economy and Environment, describing the move as a clear indication of government's commitment to protecting the environment.
To greet the President for his re-election and thank him for establishing the Ministry of Green Economy and Environment, to which us green champions belong. To realize the value of what we have, some plants, some grasses, everything we have has very good value, medicinal values, food values.
The call now is for the renewed focus on environmental protection to translate into sustained tree planting and restoration efforts across Western Province. Sioto Akawana, Bulozi TV News, Western Province.
Citizens First Party President Harry Kalaba has commended the Tonse Alliance and its leader Brian Mundubile for their courageous fight in what he termed one of the most deeply flawed processes in Zambia's history. Kalaba has condemned the electoral process, alleging interference and inconsistencies in handling of the electoral materials. He also called for an independent review of the process to restore public confidence, while demanding a comprehensive government statement on the death of Mutotwe Kafwaya. Mufulira-based mining expert Charles Mulila says merchandising artisanal and small-scale miners is critical if Zambia is to meet its target of producing 3 million metric tons of copper by 2030. According to official statistics, Zambia's copper production stood at 447,100 tons in the first half of 2026. This represents a slight increase compared to the same period last year. At this rate, the country is projected to produce about 1 million tons this year. Speaking in an interview with Bulozi TV, Mulila said government needs to expedite the development of new miners and prioritize value addition to ensure Zambia exports more finished copper production instead of raw ones.
Initially, production was coupled with energy when we had the drought, but that is not a factor because despite that, mines were still supplied with electricity because you cannot stop production completely. I think by what is critical is affecting production is the issue of mechanization. You know, mining has become a critical component of economic emancipation for most countries. So what we needed to do is to ensure that we provide mechanization, which is actually technologically built up. Modern technology has to do with the production levels. But if we don't put up production schedules and technical report that mining companies are supposed to provide, it becomes a problem. We also need to ensure that the employment is coupled with good remuneration for workers. We experience job drain, people going outside the country. It's because of the conditions of service. Also, we need to ensure that we actualize the newly opened up mining companies and finance them adequately. Yes, we may need the foreign direct investment, but government can also plow money into mining companies, which they can even retain Zambian mining companies that can be wholly operated by Zambians themselves. The other thing is, of course, value addition to our minerals so that we export finished products as opposed to always exporting raw materials. This can also make sure that local resource mobilization is increased. Also, we take care of environmental social governance. We need to do the production coupled with taking care of the environment. Once these issues are looked at, then production can drastically go up.
You're watching the news bulletin with me, Mary Malisana. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back.
Bulozi TV is the only commercial television station domiciled in MONGU of Western Province, Zambia, providing homegrown broadcasting. We are licensed by the Independent Broadcasting Authority (IBA) and carried by TopStar on DTT channel 120. We are also on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, and WhatsApp channel. Our news is factual, balanced, and delivered on time in 3 languages: English, Simbunda, and Silozi. Our programs range from talk shows, entertainment shows, personality, cultural heritage, political shows, local drama and soaps, children's shows, community live broadcast, and many more. Call the station manager to advertise your business on 0975 210 218 or 0764 907 921. Or email us on bulozitv@gmail.com. We are situated in Mbuyuwana compound off Kagrava Road in MONGU. Bulozi TV, the pride of Barotse.
Health Nest Medical Center, nurturing health, empowering lives. At HealthNest Medical Center, we provide high-quality, accessible healthcare for individuals, families, and the wider community in MONGU and beyond. We focus on preventive care offering blood pressure, diabetes and cholesterol checks, HIV counseling and testing, and community health education programs. Our outpatient and maternal child health services support families with general consultations, antenatal and postnatal care, child growth and monitoring, nutrition counseling, and family planning. Our laboratory services provide routine tests, rapid diagnostics, and selected specialized tests, while our pharmacy ensures timely access to medicines with professional guidance. HealthNest is also here during emergencies, providing 24/7 care, stabilization, first aid, and referral services supported by rapid diagnostics and ready access to medicines. We help with recovery and rehabilitation through physiotherapy for children and adults, including clubfoot, fractures, cerebral palsy, neurological conditions, and soft tissue injuries. Our diagnostic services such as ultrasound and ECG help monitor progress, and ongoing preventive care supports long-term health. At HealthNest Medical Center, we combine quality, compassion, and reliable care to nurture health and empower lives. You can locate us at 53120 Lusaka Road, Kambule, 7488 MONGU. Contact us on +2609729 926521. Our website www.healthnestmd.com. HealthNest Medical Center, nurturing health, empowering lives.
Did you know that you've got the right to complain against any radio or television broadcast? Did you also know that every radio or television station has an obligation to respond and address your complaints when aggrieved? The first step is to complain to the station not more than 3 months after the broadcast took place. It is expected that the station will respond reasonably to you, that is within 14 days. If not satisfied, then escalate your problem to the Independent Broadcasting Authority.
We're at Mass Media Complex, Ali King Carter Road,
PO Box 32475, Lusaka, or call us on +260 211 250589, or visit our website at www.iba.org.zm.
IBA, promoting ethical and professional broadcasting.
Thank you. We now continue with the rest of the news. Senegal's parliament has approved a law requiring the president, prime minister, and speaker of the parliament to publicly declare their asset when entering and leaving office. The measure, backed by 133 of 165 lawmakers, is aimed at strengthening transparency and fighting corruption. But the vote comes amid growing tension between President Bassirou Diomaye Faye and his former Prime Minister Ousmane Sonko, now Speaker of Parliament. Some lawmakers fear the law could be used politically against Faye. Kongola Blades coach Beston Chambeshi has urged parents to support their children at a young age from home the moment they begin to show interest in sports activities. Speaking exclusively to Bulozi TV News, Chambeshi said sports, football in particular, requires discipline and dedication, just like school, describing it as a life changer that must begin from home. He added that a lot of people have had their lives changed for the better through sports and urged parents to encourage their children to be active in various sports activities.
Football is a life changer. Football is a life changer. It's a good game of football, and it must start from home. The way you discipline, the way you get discipline from the parents. It's where these boys are going wrong, because they are forgetting about their parents. They think they know it all. But to the juniors, let them enjoy this game of football. And even the parents must encourage their young ones to start being active, not only in sport, but in athlete. Because I've seen how other boys, they have changed their lives because of this sport. So please, discipline. Football is about discipline. And once you are well disciplined, you go far in this game of football. Alcohol is there, alcohol is there, but it will be there. But first, secure your life. Then you will stay well in terms of playing soccer. So, as I said earlier, please, to the parents, I encourage you. If you see talent in your friend, if you see your son likes playing soccer, encourage him. Because soccer with the school, they move in the same direction.
We have now come to the end of our news bulletin. Thank you for watching. We'll do a recap of the headlines. MONGU residents appeal to President HICHILEMA for more development. Western Province PS commends peaceful conduct during elections. Calabar commends Mundubile for putting up a courageous fight in the election. In international news, Senegal Parliament approves asset declaration law. And in sports news, Coach CHAMBESHI urges parents to support their children in sports. You can always watch our news bulletin on TopStar channel 120 in MONGU, Limulunga, Nalolo, Lusaka, Chongwe, Chilanga, parts of Senanga, Kalabo, Rufusa, and surrounding areas. You can as well as catch us on our Facebook page, Bulozi TV, as well as TikTok. Pleasant viewing.